Hey, everyone out there in YouTube land, Danny here from GeekCast Radio, doing another Marvel refresh review. This time I continue my look at the Venom series with a review of Venom number 3, written by Donny Cates and drawn by Ryan Stegman. And continuing to look at this series that has been, I think, one of the beacons of the Marvel Fresh Start relaunch, one of the, I think, the best titles to come out for a lot of different ways. And Venom number 3 doesn't really disappoint. Again, Ryan Stegman, I think, is still kind of the, Donny Cates is doing his thing, but Ryan Stegman is, I think, here shining the most, honestly. Just, he's bringing so much to this book. Some of the best work that he's done in his career, I think. And I think in a long part, this is one of the first times that he has not inked himself, and I don't know if that's just giving him more time to kind of just do some more crazy things. It was just the inspiration of Donny Cates and what he's done, and kind of Donny Cates often talks about he tries to write visually, and it's with that writing style. Brian Stegman has taken it and kind of gone with it and done a lot of fun things. And this book has really been kind of nonstop, over the top since the beginning. And my only concern, really, though, is like, what's going to happen when is if it slows down. I feel like it's going to need to slow down just to kind of add a little bit more meat to this bone. In the sense of from the beginning we learned some things about the Venom history, and we're learning more and more about it. This has a huge reveal at the end of it as well, kind of getting into kind of what exactly might be driving all these different symbiotes crazy. But what I hope is not lost in all this, and that's really been my concern from the very first issue, is that we get more about who Eddie Brock is. We've gotten bits in here and there, but I feel like for this to really matter more, I don't need more about the secret history of what the symbiotes are. I need more about who Eddie Brock is as a person, and you can do both of those things at the same time. Right now, though, it seems like the pendulum is much more on the side of let's get into the craziness, let's get into the the history of this huge reveals, which I get. You want to start off strong, you want to bring a lot of excitement, kind of get put your best foot forward. But I just hope that as it moves on into upcoming issues, we get some more of that character of Eddie Brock, because as someone who's not the hugest Venom fan, usually the biggest reason for that is because I never found Eddie Brock as a character that is like all that interesting outside of a side issue. I like Venom a lot when he's like Flash Thompson, because Flash Thompson, it brings an interesting dynamic, especially being this wounded veteran, and how his connection to the symbiote and what that means. Where Eddie Brock, it's just much more it's just this codependency in a way, which can be interesting enough, but I think as a main storyline for an ongoing series, not as much. But here the big focus point is Venom versus Spider-Man, not Peter Parker's Spider-Man, but Miles Morales' Spider-Man. And man, can Ryan Stegman really draw a really fun and impactful action sequence, a lot of energy to it. Great. It's just fantastic use of paneling. Just it keeps it going beat by bit, with the rain dripping down. Just some great ominous tone of it as well, with like in the background you have this gigantic godlike creature, symbiote. It's just a lot going on. So I do feel like it's nothing taking my apprehension away. I think this is a very effective issue. Again, if you enjoyed the first 2 issues, I don't see why you would not enjoy this one. But it's just crazy over the top. Like, it has that monster movie kaiju feel to it. on the top of the fact it's also a superhero Venom story. Kind of like Donny Cates loves to mesh things together, and sometimes they work, actually more times often than not, and that's really the case here. I do like the pairing of Venom and Miles Morales. They get a little brief interludes here and there, and you realize that they haven't really interacted all that much, at least to my knowledge. So it was kind of fun seeing them have a back and forth, and apparently Venom, Eddie Brock, might have more connection to Miles Morales than he even realizes. We'll see what that means, but just like, I don't kind of want to show more of the pages, but in the sense of spoiling things, but you kind of understand where the story is going overall. But by the end, it does again seem like we had that indication that Shield's been doing all these different tasks, and I thought that's kind of where it would be going, more so like getting into the secret history of Shield. But this goes a completely different direction, and it seems a new character is potentially revealed, and I don't know. I have no idea where it's going now, and it seems much more mystic or cosmic than I've ever really read a comic book about Venom being before. Just off the very street level. This is much bigger than that, so that's cool to see. That's something that's really been Donny Cates' bread and butter from the beginning. So if you're an apprehensive Venom fan that's never really cared about the character, I think read this, because really so far, the character of Venom hasn't even been really the center point. He's really been kind of deer in the headlights, just trying to catch up with everything that's going on around him, as all these every issue just keeps building and further. So again, I'm hoping that as it goes on, and Donny Cates indicated this, he wants this to be his more long-term plan, like for something like Thanos Wins, which was 6 issues. I think that type of pacing works. I don't know if that can maintain itself. It could, it could maintain itself for 6 issues, 12 issues. Maybe I'm wrong, but it could get overly relentless by 5 or 6 issues if it's just bigger every time. But for now, I'm enjoying it. For now, it's only 3 issues. For now, it makes sense. It's a lot of fun. Not a lot of backtracks. I guess I'm just being unnecessarily apprehensive, and I don't know why. But if I'm at all detracting you from reading it, I shouldn't, because it's a great book. By all means, it's probably right now ongoing titles from Marvel within their top 3, top 5 for sure. And I think I don't see it slowing down if knowing Donny Cates' background, at least when it comes to his Marvel work as of now. But be curious to hear what you've been thinking. If you're a Venom fan, if you've been enjoying this book, your take about any apprehension like me, or you just sitting are being a Debbie Downer and just got to enjoy the ride. Let me know in the comment section below. But you want to hear more from me, check out GeekCast Radio, check out my podcast, Comic Concierge. But for now, remember that comics are for everyone. The key is finding the right one. Until next time, thanks for watching.